when Noah was building this, God first said, "This is what I want you to do. These are the dimensions." I'm pretty certain he kind of went, "You want me to do?" I mean, when we were building our house and we were walking out dimensions and these are the sizes we're going to need and everything, and I still went, "Whoa." The amount of forest that this man would have had to cut down to build this ginormous thing. But I went farther than that because he never saw rain. He never did all these things he was planning for had never been seen before. And I went even farther than that because when God downloaded being health to Dad all those years ago, people weren't talking like this. When the news articles would come out about, and we're linking stress with, that was after Dad started his stuff. We we would look at this and go, finally caught up. And so now it's common sense. You're like, "Oh yeah, so stress caused blah 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 blah." But it was way before then. And so I looked at it as Ham, Shem, and Japheth's point of view as a child. I can only imagine that because my dad sat there and built this ground up and off all the time. Churches scoff, heathen scoff, doctors scoff, everyone, Christians scoff, everyone. And I could just imagine little Ham or little Shem going back home after school, or I don't even know what they did, but it doesn't really matter. And hearing, "You're going to go home and help your dad build a boat," what is he going to do? In 100 years, can you imagine? I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, people look at us crazy when we were building our house, or when we talk about building a new building, or when we decided to put a ministry in an old school, or when we moved to Georgia and took up a little one-room church building. But to see it in fruition and know that none of us would have been here. I'm going to talk about Noah. And then I also will talk about Henry Wright. See all of that in fruition, and none of us would be in the building if one man had said yes. That's where it hit. Because now, who am I to say? It hit me deeper because I'm just kind of going along the motions sometimes. I'm like, I'm just doing Dad's work. I'm just walking these halls and I'm doing all this stuff. But I'm telling you what, it didn't say that Noah and his wife went and multiplied the earth. It was the kids had to be fruitful and multiply. They're the one that brought the vision out of the whole world. And I really had to do a little bit of soul searching and think, and I want you youth to listen too, because some of you are second, third, and some of you are first generation. You're not just doing what your parents told you. You have your own walk. And that's where, not that I haven't been walking my own walk, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it gave me a new sense of ownership of, from my next step forward, I have to walk in the calling that God walked. I have to honor what happened for me, definitely the foundation. But the going forward process, if I say no to what God tells me to do, what does that do? What does it do for the 100 people? What thousands of that I could possibly do? And that was what I think the most out of ARC is I went, one man said yes.